Yeah, I'm muted. Dan is muted. Dan is always muted. Uh, it's early over here, so give me some slack. But like I said, this is game three of the Outrider Cup. Jared Napolitano versus Dylan. Timo Dusel. And we have Agents of the Black Sun versus Old Allies. Just as a refresh, right now we have Team Europe up on Team America 2-0. Timo and Kieran both won with their dark side over Team America. So again, Jared is a pretty good Agents of the Black Sun player. He played it at Worlds, came in, I want to say, what, third place with it, losing only to the. He only lost to Jules, and I mean, all the pundits say Europe would win this thing, you know. Yeah, Bill, myself, and James, we all picked Europe to win this on Holo Theater. What was it, last week? Uh, I will stand by my pick. I will say this: this is going to be an interesting match. I think this one could go either way. It's going to come down to the skill of the players. Both of these guys are pretty good with their decks, so it's going to be interesting to see who wins it. But here we go. Jared is in his activate. He activates 6. He also showed over who his two other agents are. He has Thrawn and Erica. I believe it was Erica. Yeah, Erica V. So that's kind of smart to have in this matchup, as he can, once he gets Erica out, he can start retrieving each turn. Okay, he's going to look with Shadows of the Empire. Going to pull the Imperial Square. He does hit the square from his reserve deck, so he's going to get a 2-0 sight coming down. There it is. Looks like he's got a lot of foils on the table, so I mean, it helps when you're your foil game helps when you're an advocate. The deck list will be posted eventually. We saw that Timo used a Rebel leadership. He pulled Admiral Radis with it. Not sure if he's got another one, but it's going to be interesting to see if he does have one. There's the Vigo for Jared. He was able to get that out of his reserve deck. Turn 1, there's the Palace, so now he can start pulling his sites. Looks like he's going to have most of his activation out on turn 1, so that's going to be good for him. And you got to think that he's going to be safe to flip this turn as well. Now, once it is Timo's turn, it's going to be interesting because your opponent's Reflections to objective targets Rey instead of Luke. So as long as Rey is on the table and at the as long as she's on the table and present, he will be able to keep Jared on the 0 side. Really quick, just so I can make sure that everything looks good. I'm not sure why that Jakku isn't showing up. Let me refresh it really quick. Yeah, I like the new interface. I like the look of it, but there are some little bit of issues with it. Really quick, I am refreshing just so everybody can get a clear picture of what's going on, and nobody has any questions for me. And it's still showing as a dark side card. Interesting. Um, that is the Jakku system. If people want me to, I can go back to the original interface. Well, I'm just saying she just has to be at a site, so she can be on the Falcon to keep Jared on the 0 side. And Jared does move over. Okay, Rose Tico goes back to Timo's reserve deck. It's going to be interesting to see who he pulls here. So Rose is an ability 2 character, so he can get anybody of ability 2 or less. Poe Dameron could be a target. Chewie could be a target. Now, the other thing is you don't have to... The cost of a Brave Resistance is putting the character back, so you don't actually have to hit with the pool. Timo thinking about who he wants to take here. Jared saying how many Fombas are in here. He will take Poe Dameron. Jared pointing out the Fombas because Tom Haid played Fombas in his old allies. No Rey in his reserve deck, so that's not good. He is going to use his objective. He does pull Rey's Hut, though. There is General Calrissian. Now, I believe that Jared should be flipped here. That's kind of interesting to see that he isn't flipped right now. Would people rather I go back to the original interface? Because the new interface is kind of giving me some issues. Like I said, I like the look of the new interface, but there are a little bit of issues with it. Okay, Timo pulls the Carillion Corvette from his deck. He takes a 1 out of his deck. Yeah, I'm just going to do it. Yep, there's an error, so, yep. That tells me that we should just go back to the original interface. Yep, Jared is flipped, so he is able to utilize his objective. There we go. See that nice AI Jakku system? And Timo will take off with the Falcon, putting Radis and Calrissian up to space. So without a Rey, he's not able to keep Jared flipped. Gem 3 Theories AI just dropped today. Nice. Yeah, I mean, Jared, it wasn't showing that Jared was flipped. It wasn't showing that Jakku was on the table, so I figured, let's just go back to the original one for now. It's too early for these shenanigans. Jared's going to use Fanfare. He's going to take his immediate effect into hand. His immediate effect is Shizor's Bounty. Interesting to see that neither Team USA and Team Europe are watching. See Adam Fletcher, part of Team Moneyball. Unfortunately for Adam, he was 6-0 in the preliminary rounds of the Jawa Cup. Unfortunately, he took the loss last night to Jeffrey Levine in quite a good match. Like Justin Miyashiro was on the call last night, and really good match between the two of them. Okay, there's the Emperor and Cad Bane. That's going to allow Jared now to start pinging some damage with the Shadows of the Empire effect. Again, Agents of the Black Sun was quite popular a couple of years ago at Worlds. It was the first year that Bastion... it was the year that Bastion took his second World Championship in New Jersey. A lot of people played it. There goes Wisa the Grand Army off the top of the reserve deck for Timo. Interesting to see him play that. So, again, Timo runs a very interesting OA, not your typical OA. Here we go. Vengeance of the Dark Prince in the battle phase. He's going to allow Jared to peek at the top 3 cards of his reserve deck. I haven't gotten any packs, so I would love to see what kind of cards I get. Yeah, I have no packs. Like, when I get into the new interface, it tells me that I have something available, but it doesn't show up. It makes me sad. Oh, wait, never mind. I have one pack. Okay, I got the Falcon, Forlom, Dooku, and the Jakku Shipyard Grave. The Spaceport Shipyard. Nothing too exciting there. I mean, the Forlom looks cool. Okay, Walkling. So that's going to allow Jared to, or Timo to take a card. He's going to take the Gungan Energy Shield. So he is playing Fombas. I love it. He's playing Fombas today. Justin Branch, get out of the stream. You're ruining things. Justin Branch cheating and not watching on the stream. Okay, here we go. Timo's going to look for with old allies to deploy a location. No location for Timo. I don't know if this is just bad luck or what, but Jared's going to use his wipe them out, all of them. He's going to activate another card. So the Vigos with the Emperor, Shizor's by himself, Cad Bane's by himself. Again, he's got the Shizor's bounty in his hand, so he's kind of safe there. He's also got another 4 saved. He's got a 10-card hand, so the possibility of him having a barrier is pretty good. Okay, Timo is in his deploy phase. Let's see what he's going to do here. Let's see. Did he get a Ray? That's going to be the important thing here, because if he got the Ray, it's going to save him 2 force from the objective, from Jared's objective. Again, this isn't a kind of an important game, as right now Team Europe is up 2-0. They don't want to go. Team USA does not want to go into a 3-0 hole, because Team Europe would only need 4 more wins when there's 9 games left. So I'm not saying this is a must win, but this is kind of an important game. Plus, you don't want to give Timo bragging rights going up 2-0 and him winning both of his games. Okay, we are still in Timo's deploy phase. There's Ray. She goes on to the Falcon. She goes down for 4. So with Ray on the Falcon now, he could flip back if he wanted to. We know he's got a Poe Dameron in his hand and a Carillion Corvette, so he could establish himself up in space. Boss Snatch Chamber comes down. He uploads it from his reserve deck with a Wisagata Grand Army, giving Timo 2 more points of activation on his next turn. Okay. He's going to put Lore Santeca back to upload a Finn. That's actually a really good idea to do that. Okay, he draws a card with Ray. He draws the bottom card of his force pile. So, again, I think he doesn't really want to. He wants to get Ray onto the site, so he's probably going to land the Falcon here. Now, he didn't drain, because he pulled Battle Plan last turn. And there's the Falcon landing. Again, that will flip Jared back. The Falcon flips as well. Ray is piloting the Falcon, as well as General Calrissian. Jared draws a card from his force pile with Shadows of the Empire. Takes Force Lightning into hand as well, and Teemo will pass turn, saving 7 Force in his Force pile. So he's going to have a lot of cards next turn. We know that he's got a Finn in his hand. He's also got a Carillion Corvette and a Poe Dameron. Now, I doubt that Jared is going to drain this turn, but he is going to do a Shadows Ping at least. There's the Shadows Ping from Jared. He does draw a card. Saw Gerrera goes off the top of Teemo's deck. Teemo already down 3 cards in Life Force. He's already lost a Wisa Got a Grand Army. He's lost Saw Gerrera. And he lost a All Wings combo. Still in Jared's control phase. Let's see if he does pay to drain here. Now, they are only drains of 1, so I don't know if him draining here is the wisest idea. He's got a lot of options. Up there goes the Zuckuss and Mist Hunter to Jakku. Zuckuss' Mist Hunter does a lot, and Boba Fett Bounty Hunter goes down as well. Jared wanting to establish himself up in space. He's going to need another Bounty Hunter up there to get the extra Destiny. Possibly wants to see a Forlom that will give him a Destiny with Forlom and Destiny with Boba Fett. Spend 9, drain for 1/1/1. Yeah, that's not the best idea. Teemo plays Perimeter Scan to pull the Aim High shield. Draws and uses Ray to draw the bottom card of his reserve deck. So Teemo was going to be safe from the Boba Fett this turn because he had the Perimeter Scan in his hand. And Jared will pay the 2 to keep Boba Fett on the table and pass turn over to Teemo. Start of Teemo's turn. Again, probably not going to see him drain. Yeah, he could have the Greedo. That would give him the additional Destiny with Boba Fett. Yeah, I was going to say, because Teemo might have something to cancel the react. If he does, that would be really bad. I don't think Jared didn't have the Force. I think that's what the issue was. If he didn't draw with Shadows, he would have had it. But unfortunately, he didn't. Okay, here we go. Din Djarin and a Carillion Corvette going down to Jakku. Din, ability of 3. The Carillion Corvette has an ability of 1. Solo hits the table as well. Right now, we have Teemo getting 2 Destiny. Jared getting 1. I'm assuming that Teemo is going to deploy the Poe Dameron that is in his hand as well. Jared has 2 Force saved. There is the Starship Graveyard. Teemo does flip. He plays Dam's Denna. Dam's Denna, pretty good card. He gets some Fombas. Deploy for 1. There's the Gungan Energy Shield. While Fombas here, your characters may not be targeted by weapons. Opponent's Battle Destiny draws here are -1. Characters must use +1 Force when moving to or from here using their land speed. Interesting. The Fomba move deploys over to the starship, the Nema outpost. There's the Greedo that we were just talking about. Let's see, does Teemo have something to cancel the react? Nope, there is the projected telepathy from Jared, so it's going to make Teemo use force here. And that's going to cancel the battle up in Jakku. So, I don't know. I would have rather have seen like the Poe Dameron come out, give you some immunity. I'm a little surprised that Teemo walked into the Greedo. Yeah, I was really surprised that the Greedo resolved. Okay, here we go. Teemo is going to move his characters around here. General Calrissian hops off the Falcon. Rey also hops off the Falcon. Admiral Raddus becomes the pilot. And the Falcon moves up to Jakku. Interesting. So, does the... Okay, Rey hops on to the Famba as well as General Calrissian. They're going to move over to the Starship Graveyard. Yeah, there's no admirals up there too. So now we have Raddus on the Falcon, Din Djarin and Solo on the Corellian Corvette. General Calrissian, Rey, Dams Denna, and a Famba at the Starship Graveyard. So now Jared is going to be draining for free. He's going to be draining for 3 points of damage this turn. And he's going to be doing the Shadows Ping. He's got 9 cards in his hand. He has Boba Fett and Greedo on the Zuckuss and Misshunter, so things are looking pretty good for Jared at this point. There goes a Rebel leadership off the top to the Shadows Ping. Here we go. In Jared's control phase, we're gonna have Teemo lose a couple cards. I think I can handle myself to the first drain. It's a hit. Now Teemo is losing from his reserve deck. And a Jedi Levitation all off the top of his reserve deck. Teemo is down 8 cards in his lost pile. Jared grabs that Force Lightning again from his deck. There's the Jabba Space Cruiser. That's going to allow Jared to deploy an alien for free. Again, it is going to be an alien leader. There is the Thrawn, Commander Thrawn. He will protect the Space Cruiser from any weapons that Teemo has in his deck. Doubt he has weapons in his deck, though. Yeah, things are looking pretty good for Jared at this point. Joda Cast hits the table onto Zuckuss and Misshunter as well. Jodo Cast is a pretty good card in this situation. If opponent draws more than one Destiny, you can cancel one. Din Djarin's going to target Greedo, so if Greedo is lost, Teemo can retrieve one. Or he could put Greedo into the used pile and retrieve 2. Jared putting the Force Lightning back into his deck. Timo pointing out you watched too much of the Kieran game. I'm not sure what that means. Oh, yeah, you're right. It's not free anymore. I forgot all about. I forgot of the errata. I'm so used to it being free. I wish it was free. There is the resistance shield from Jared. Right now, Jared is getting multiple destiny up in space. Timo also getting multiple destiny up in space. However, one of his destinies is going to be canceled. Jared moves past his battle phase and goes straight into his draw phase. Interesting. So Jared is now going to take 2 points of damage from the drain at the Starship Graveyard. Jared uses 2 to upkeep Boba Fett and will pass turn. I don't know if Jared is afraid of resistance or rebel leadership there or what. I'm not really sure why he just decided to pass turn. Maybe somebody from Team America will help me out here. There's the 4 strain of 2 at the Starship Graveyard. A hit of weapons goes lost from Jared's hand and an Emperor Palpatine. Again, we know that Timo has Poe Dameron in his hand. There's another shield from Jared. He pulls the Code Clearance shield. So if Timo decides to use Jedi Levitation or something like that, he can stack that card and then essentially negate all of Timo's retrieval this game. There's Poe Dameron. He goes on to the Falcon. Dash Rendar V also comes down. When in battle with Leba on an opponent's gangster, maintenance card, or permanent weapon card, you may draw a destiny. Subtract that amount from opponent's total power and attrition. Leia goes down in front of Cad Bane. Assuming that Timo is going to battle with Leia this turn. Dash V, the Outrider Cup mascot. Yeah. Although I will say all the those foil cards that I made for both teams are just regular Dash, not the Dash V. There's the Shizor's Bounty. Leia cannot battle against Cad Bane. Timo checking out his destinies. And Shizor's Bounty will make it so that Leia cannot battle this turn. But with her on the table, if Timo doesn't decide to initiate a battle up in space, he will get to retrieve one. And we have a battle in space. Again, Leia will retrieve one for Timo. Our second battle of the game. Not sure if this one's going to get canceled or anything. Timo retrieves Jedi Levitation off the top of his lost pile. Imbalance combo will make Timo lose a card. Is he going to lose that Jedi Levitation he just retrieved? Or will he lose something else? He will just lose the Jedi Levitation he just retrieved. So Timo paid 1 just to lose the card he retrieved. Din Djarin going to target Boba Fett Bounty Hunter. Interesting. Solo going to play an interrupt from Lost Pile. He plays the Rebel leadership. So that means that Jared will only get one destiny unless he has the sense. He does have the sense. He draws a 1 that will cancel the leadership. Jared will have to lose 2 cards and the sense he just played. However, I think Jared is more than happy with losing the 2 and the sense to cancel this leadership. Leadership goes out of play. Jared loses Jango Fett and Uta Guta Solo. So both players are getting 3 destiny here. There's an Anakin for 1. Draws a 3. Again, Jared is going to be able to cancel one of these destinies. And Cal Fowl. He will cancel that one. And Teemo only has a total battle destiny of 4. Jared draws a 2. A 1. And a 3. Teemo reduces that 3 down to a 1. Jared also draws a 4. There's a destiny to attrition. Teemo draws a 4. That's going to clear. Oh no, he drew. He reduced it by 4. So Teemo will not lose anything. Jared has to lose 4 into attrition and 9 in battle damage. There goes Greedo to the Lost Pile. Will Jared peel or will he lose someone else from the battle? He's going to lose Thrawn. Leia stuck over at the sewer against Cad Bane. Yeah, that was a pretty weak sauce battle. Yeah, I don't know if anybody else saw when Teemo was doing a commentary for Paul Myers versus Kieran. His heart rate was up to 130 on his watch. he sent the picture out. It was kind of great. And that's going to end Teemo's turn. He plays a We Still Got a Grand Army. He's going to take a Famba, Boss Nash Chamber, or Battle Planes into hand. He takes a Famba. And this is during Jared's activate phase. He does activate 17. There's Shadow's ping. He still occupies 4 battlegrounds, so he is able to ping. There goes that We Still Got a Grand Army that Teemo just played. Or no, there goes a We Still Got a Grand Army off of his reserve deck. Drain of 1 at the uplink station. Again, with no Falling's Fist on the table at Coruscant, it is only a drain of 1. There goes Rose Tika off the top. And drain for 1 at the Palace. Teemo will lose Perimeter Scan off the top of his reserve deck. So Teemo loses a bunch of good Destiny off the top of his deck. Solo has already been used this game, so don't expect him to be used again. Force Lightning to target the Vigo. Vigo stays on the table, though. Here we go. Aura Singh with Blaster Rifle goes down in front of Leia. IG-88 as well. Yeah, this could be very detrimental for Teemo. But I'm assuming he's got the Hojix. Again, this is Game 3 of the 2021 Outrider Cup. Right now, Team Europe is up 2-0 on Team America. Team America did win the first iteration of the Outrider Cup. We've already seen Timo Dusel play one game. He played it against Hayes Hunter. So one of the reasons for cycling it is, honestly, I'm not sure. you might be able to. Somebody else might be able to clarify on that one. I mean, it checks your destiny almost every turn when you pull it. Keeps the Vigo in line. Yeah, that's a good point, Chris. Aura Singh is going to attack, or is going to attempt to shoot General Leia. Draws a 4. That will not hit Leia. We are getting 2 destiny for Jared, though. Before he battled, he deployed U-3PO down to the Starship Graveyard. Here we go. IG-88 is going to attempt to capture. He will not capture Leia. So both weapons missed on Leia. However, Teemo is down by 4. Falling's Fist for Destiny. He's going to reduce that, make it a 0. Again, Leia has a little bit of immunity here. Draws a 3. Leia is going to be immune. However, Teemo is down by 13. And Teemo draws a 1. Teemo, man, what are these destinies doing to you? Jared will have to lose 1. Teemo is down by 12. IG-88 goes to the loss pile. Teemo deciding on what he wants to do here. Again, Leia is immune, but no Hojix. It's a hit. Admiral Satora, Rebel Flight Suit V, and Cal Fowl all go to the loss pile. Leia will go, giving Jared some vital information about what is going on in Teemo's hand, and it will allow Jared to retrieve one. Will Jared pay the 1 to retrieve? He will not. He was going to keep the 2 force that he has there. This way he can keep the Boba Fett Bounty Hunter on the table or battle with him. Teebo's going to use 1 to retrieve General Leia. I believe he's only used his strike planning once this game, so he could get her out next turn. Again, these Destiny are killing Teemo at this point. Jared will pass turn, paying 2 to upkeep Boba Fett Bounty Hunter, and we will go into Teemo's next turn. Teemo checking his deck with the Boss Nash Saber. I don't like that because he could have pulled Leia. Well, he can still pull Leia before he activates, but we'll see what he wants to do here. Jared's going to use a Cold Feet to get out the Imperial Detention Shield. That will stop Teemo from getting free force with Leia's Resistance Transport. Or deploying somebody for free with Leia's Resistance Transport, sorry. So it's Jodacast and Boba Fett Bounty Hunter on the Zuckuss and Miss Hunter. So Jared is getting multiple Destiny, and he is going to be able to cancel the Destiny as well. Timo uses Ray. I think if Timo... Okay. Beaumont Kit goes down in front of Shizor. Again, Shizor's bounty is in the lost pile. Finn comes down as well. You need abilities 6 or higher. Rose Tico. So I believe we will see Shizor be battled. We have a Gungan Energy Shield. That tells me we're going to see a Faba get down. Good times. Faba drops down onto Coruscant. Beaumont Kin, Finn, Rose, and a Famba. Jared's going to take the last card. General Jaja goes down to the Starship Graveyard. That tells me he's got the Wisa to make U-3PO go lost. We know that Jared plays Dr. Afra. I believe it's in his deck. And we have a battle against Shizor. Timo draws a 5. That is going to be enough to get rid of Shizor here. Jared draws a 3. It becomes a 2, and now it's a 0. Timo will not lose anything. Jared down by 13. Shizor is going to go to the lost pile with some overflow unless he's got the Gick. Dude, it's early, and I'm on like 4 hours of sleep. Yeah, Voyeur time is going to be really fun. Jared will lose cards. No Gick. Restraining Bolt. Voyeur both go to the lost pile. There goes Shizor. And he still has 5 to lose. Forlob, Cold Feet, Dr. Afra, a Barrier, and an Emperor all go to the lost pile for Jared. Ouch time indeed. The Falcon moves over to Coruscant, leaving Din Djarin, Solo, and Dash to face down Boba Fett Bounty Hunter, Jodacast, and the Space Cruiser. Timo has no cards in his hand. Jared has 4. Again, Jared is up on Life Force. However, he is down by Lost Piles. Jared activates 5. Takes a card with Shadows. Timo threatening 6 points of damage next turn. What will Jared do? He's got 5 cards to work with this turn. Even if he was to take Timo out in space, I mean, Timo is already, he can't take him out of Jakku, but he can take him out of, he can take him out of Jakku. He can't take him out of space as a whole. Jared has 3 cards left in his reserve deck. That's enough for him to draw every Destiny he needs up in space. Teemo getting 2 Destiny up in space as well. Here we go. Drains. Drain for 1. There goes a Fomba off the top of Teemo's deck. A Projection of the Skywalker goes lost as well. Teemo loses 2 5s off the top of his decks to the drain. Again, we haven't seen Jared use the Sewers game text yet, so he might be able to do it this turn. Yeah, there's 2 Fombas on the table. Probot goes down to the Boss Nash Chamber. P-59 goes down to the Outpost. Teemo will not be able to reduce in either of those drains, as he does not control 2 Jakku locations. However, again, Teemo is threatening quite a bit of drains this turn. Jared moves into his battle phase. He will battle against the Carillion Corvette. Again, he is getting 3 Destiny up in space, with Teemo getting 2. However, one of those will be canceled. Draws a 5. Reduced down to a 3. Again, Jared has 2 more Destinies. You got to think he's tracking these. He draws a 2. Maybe he wasn't tracking. And draws a 5. He's going to have a 10 for total. Teemo draws General Leia for 1. And BB-8. BB-8 will be canceled, though. Teemo down by 10, but he still has Dash. Dash draws a 3, so that's going to reduce Teemo's attrition down to 7. Let's see, that's going to be probably Solo. There goes the Jabba Space Cruiser. And Solo goes lost for Teemo. Rey takes the only card in Teemo's force pile. And we will pass turn over to Teemo. P-59 moves over to Rey's hut. And he will draw a card and spend 2 to keep Boba Fett on the table. So again, Teemo is going to be doing 6 points of damage this turn. Teemo activating 9. With Din Djarin and Dash on the table, he's still going to get 2 Destiny there. But first, before we do anything, here we go. We have some drains. Drain for 2 at Coruscant. There goes a Falling's Fist from the use pile. And a Barrier, both from the use pile. Drain for 2 at the Starship Graveyard. There goes a Battle Order off the top. The next one, I believe, is a 2. I believe it's Dengar with Blaster Carbine. And then he has the Force Push as underneath that. Yep, he loses Dengar with Blaster Carbine. And drain for 2 at Shizor's Palace. Will Jared lose the 5 off the top of his reserve deck? He will. Jared still has to lose one more card. He'll lose Cad Bane off the top of his reserve deck as well. Life Force counts 9 for Jared. Timo with 11. Strike that. Timo with 12. Oh, nope. There's an imbalance combo. Timo will grab it, but he still has to lose a force. So again, Timo with 11 and 2 in hand. Jared 9 and 4 in hand. So Timo is currently up by 1, but Jared is threatening a lot of damage himself next turn. If Timo can get Jared out of space, Jared had to pay for all that damage. Laura Santeca goes down in front of P59. And we have a battle. Laura Santeca versus P59. P59 will shoot Laura Santeca. And he will miss. Jared cycling the Force Lightning. That Vigo is fried. He's been fried all game. Jared likes his Vigo extra crispy. Battle Destiny. Timo draws a 3 that will get rid of the P59. I believe. No, it will not get rid of P59. He's immune to attrition less than 4. Timo with an OMG. Jared draws a 6. It does become a 4, but guess what? Laura Santeca will go to the loss pile. Timo's deck does not like him. And Timo will take 6 points of damage next turn. Calrissian moves using 2 force. I don't know if Timo forgot about his game text with the Gungan Energy Shield. The land speed on the Famba is 1. Come on, those are big, giant dinosaurs. They can't move around. Here we go. Again, lots of damage coming from Jared this turn. Shadow's Pain does 1. Drain for 2 at Ray's Encampment. General Leia and Rebel Leadership off the top. Drain for 2 at the Boss Nash Chamber. But again, Timo does control 2 sites, so it is reduced down to 1. He will lose Leia's Resistance Transport off the top. Drain for 1 at the sewer. Padme goes to the loss pile. Drain for 1 at the uplink station. There goes Vice Admiral Holdo. Timo with 6 cards, hand in life. Jared with 13, hand in life. Timo is threatening 7 points of damage on the return. But again, with Jared having 13 cards, hand in life, he would only be down to 6. Timo does not have enough to survive another drain onslaught from Jared. Here we go, battle up in space. Boba Fett, Jedocast, and Zuckuss versus Din Djarin, Dash Rendar, and a Corellian Corvette. Both players are getting multiple destiny here. Jared will draw. He draws a 6 for the first one. Timo cannot reduce because he does not have a resistance character up there. Draws a 5 for the second one. There's that tracked around Force Lightning. And draws a 1. He's going to have 12. That's going to get rid of multiple characters for Timo. Unless Timo draws high with Dash Rendar. Timo draws a 4. And a 1. I believe it's the 1 that would have to be canceled with Jedocast. Yep, Chewie is canceled. Timo draws a 4 for Battle Destiny again, but now we have Dash Rendar. Timo hoping to draw high. Nope, he will not draw high. He will draw Finn. Timo with 11 attrition. That's going to be multiple characters. Boba Fett goes to the lost pile. He has done his job. Dash goes to the lost pile. Din Djarin goes as well. Timo's deck does not like him at this point. Excuse me. Jared currently has 13 cards, hand of life. Timo down to 6. Timo will be taking 6 points of damage next turn. Jared thinking about what he wants to do here. He could move the Zuckuss and Mist Hunter over in front of Raddus and Poe. Again, with Timo only having 1 card in his hand, that doesn't seem like a bad idea. I believe Poe is ability of 4. Raddus is ability of 3. So Timo will not get any. His destiny would be reduced down to 0. He would need a second character to pilot. However, doesn't have any more pilot spots on there. Let's see, what will Timo do? Or what will Jared do? There is enough time on the clock for Jared to take his time and decide on what he wants to do here. P-59 will move over in front of Calrissian. Now that gets around that drain of 2 there, but it's going to make Timo move somebody around. And Jared will draw some cards. He doesn't have to use any other cards for upkeep on Boba Fett, as Boba Fett is no longer on the table. Jared will pass turn. He draws up to 8 cards in his hand. He's got 5 cards left in his life force. Timo also has 5 cards in his life force, but more importantly, Jared has more cards in his hand. Doubt we're going to see a battle from Timo, so I am expecting him to activate everything. Nope, he's going to save all but one. Drain for 2 at the Shizor's Palace. There goes hidden weapons off of Jared's hand. And a sense. Again, he's probably going to lose all the cards from his hand this turn. Drain for 2 at Coruscant. Zam Wessel. And a Masterful Move combo, both, again, from hand. Drain for 2 at the Starship Graveyard. No escape from Jared's hand. And what will that last card be? Will it be from his hand? It will not. It will be Erica V off the top of his reserve deck. Jared down to 7 cards. Timo at 6. Larmer Darcy comes down. That was the only card left in Timo's deck. And we battle. Jared plays a Projective Telepathy to cancel the battle. Timo did not pay to retrieve. And that will be game. Jared Napolitano will win this game. Team USA claws back and takes game 3. Drain of 2 at the Boss Nash Chamber. Timo with the GG. There goes Chewy and Solo off the top. Again, all Jared has to do is drain at Coruscant, and he will win. No, Timo will concede. So Team USA, again, gets a game back. Jared does it for Team USA. Team USA is not out of it, everybody. So again, to Jared, congratulations to Jared. Well done by both players. Unfortunately, like I said, for Timo, his destiny just did not like him today. Well played. Team USA is currently sitting at. So just again to rehash everything that we talked about from today. Team Europe has taken the first 2 games when they are playing Darkside. Timo and Kieran both defeating Hayes and Paul Myers. However, Team USA has taken the first game as Darkside with Jared beating Timo. So, again, thanks to everybody for watching today. We will have more coverage of the Outrider Cup as it continues. Again, stay tuned today for Holo Theater, as I'll have Ryan Jelson on to talk about the Jawa Cup and see what he likes about the meta and everything. I believe he's a designer, but I'm not 100% sure. So, again, thanks to everybody for watching. Take care and have a good day. And make sure you watch Holo Theater tonight. And I will see everybody later. Take care.